Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vidam Scha Om Agyanatim Randasha Kyanashana Shilagaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Kurva Bistam Supurakam Guruganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanipanam Shri Rupa Bhatanugam Govindabidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyam Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shad Divyat Bhagavat Premna Bija Pranam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavananam Balarka Chelan Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyambudim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Banditam Shubhadam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishwara Shidaram Vanshakapatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 3, Lord Chaitanya at the house of Adwaita Acharya. Can someone bring a glass of water? Thank you. Morabhagye Muragare Tomara Agaman Chadaha Chaturi Prabhu Koraha Bhojan. Adwaita Acharya continued, by my great fortune, you have just come to my home. Please do not juggle words, just begin eating and do not talk. So, Mahaprabhu, after wandering in the Radhadesh, on the western side of the Ganga, for 3 days now, by Nityananda Prabhu's arrangement, has come to the house of Adwaita Acharya. So Adwaita Acharya comments, by my good fortune, you have just come to my home. Please do not juggle words, just begin eating and do not talk. Because Mahaprabhu was making some comments that as a sannyasi, he could not take so much food offered to him. But Adwaita Acharya said, well, you at Jagannath Puri, that you eat 54 times a day, and each time many hundreds of pots of food. So he's saying that what I'm giving you, you're making some pretext that it's so much, but it's nothing compared to, you are the Lord, and you are non-different from Jagannath. So as Jagannath can take so many offerings, you can also, this amount of food is nothing for you. Etabole jala dila dui kosaira hate hasiya lagila duhe bojana korite. Upon saying this, Adwaita Acharya supplied water to the two lords so that they could wash their mouths. The two lords then sat down and smiling began to eat the prasada. Nityananda kohe koilun tina upavas aje parana korite chila bora ash. Nityananda Prabhu said, I have undergone fasting for 3 days continuously. Today I had hoped to break my fast. Aje upavas hoila acharya nimantrane ardapeta nabaribe e graseka ane. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking that the quantity of food was enormous, Nityananda Prabhu, on the contrary, thought it not even a morsel. He had been fasting for 3 days and had greatly hoped to break fast on that day. Indeed, he said, although I am invited to eat by Adwaita Acharya, today also is a fast. So small a quantity of food will not fill even half my belly. Acharya kohe tumi hao, tartika sannyasi, kabu phala mula kao, kabu upabasi. Adwaita Acharya said, Sir, you are a mendicant traveling on pilgrimage. Sometimes you eat fruits and roots, and sometimes you simply go on fasting. Daridra brahmanagare jep paila mushyeka ana ihante santushta hao chara lobamana. I am a poor Brahmin, and you have come to my home. Please be satisfied with whatever little food you have received and give up your greedy mentality. Nityananda bole jabe koile nimantran, tata dite chaha jata koriye bojan. Nityananda Prabhu replied, whatever I may be, you have invited me, therefore you must supply as much as I want to eat. Shuni Nityananda kata takura advaita, kohena tahare kichu paya parita. Adwaita Acharya, after hearing the statement of Nityananda Prabhu, took the opportunity presented by the joking words and spoke to him as follows. Brashtabadut tumi udarabarite sannyas loyacha buji brahmana dondite. Adwaita Acharya said, you are a reject Paramahamsa, and you have accepted the renounced order of life just to fill up your belly. I can understand that your business is to give trouble to Brahmins. Tumiketid paradasha bisha manera ana amitaha kaha baba daridra brahmana. Adwaita Acharya accused Nityananda, saying, you can eat 10 to 20 mounds of rice. I'm a poor Brahmin. How shall I get so much rice? A mound is a measurement containing about 4 kilograms. So he says you can eat 40 to 80 kilos of rice. I'm a poor Brahmin. How shall I get so much rice? Jepanacha mushjekana taha kana uta pagalamina koreana chadaya jutta. Whatever you have, though it be a palmful of rice, please eat it and get up. Don't show your madness and throw the remnants of food here and there. Emata hasharase korana bojan arda kana prabhu charena byanjan. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate and talked with the Adwaita Acharya jokingly. After eating half of each vegetable preparation given to him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu abandoned it and went on to the next. Because Adwaita Acharya had said, if you can't eat everything, just eat half and that will be okay. Say Vyanjana Acharya Puna Korana Puran Emata Puna Pariveshe Vyanjan. As soon as half of the vegetable in the pot was finished, Adwaita Acharya filled it up again. In this way, as the Lord finished half of a preparation, Adwaita Acharya again and again filled it up. So originally Adwaita Acharya said, you just eat half of each thing, that will be enough. But as soon as Mahaprabhu took half, then Adwaita Acharya filled up the pot again. Dona Vyanjane Bori Korana Pariha Dona Vyanjane Bori Korana Prartan Prabhu Bolana Ara Kata Koriba Bojan. After filling a pot with vegetable, Adwaita Acharya requested them to eat more, and Mahaprabhu said, how much more can I go on eating? Acharya kohe je diyache tahana chariba ekana je diyetara ardeka Kaiva, Adwaita Acharya said, please do not give up whatever I have already given you. Now, whatever I'm giving, you may eat half and leave half. Nanajatna doinye prabhure koraila bojan acharjara icha prabhu korila puran. In this way, by submitting various humble requests, Adwaita Acharya made Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda eat. Then Thus Mahaprabhu fulfilled all the desires of Adwaita Acharya. Nityananda kohe amara petana barila lahajahat tora ana kichuna kaila. Again, Nityananda Prabhu jokingly said, my belly is not yet filled up. Please take away your food. I have not taken the least of it. Etaboli ekrasa pata hate loya ujali velila age jena krudahaya. After saying this, Nityananda took a handful of rice and threw it on the floor in front of him, as if he were angry. Bata duichare lage acharjera ange Bata ange loya charja nache bahurange. When 2 or 4 grains of the thrown rice touched his body, Adwaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice still stuck to his body. Now, normally, if food is touched or eaten, it is called juta. The same word, juta, in Bengal refers to shoes, but it also refers to, they call half-eaten, they call food that's been on somebody's plate, that's been touched by them, it's called juta. And in Bengal, if you throw food from your plate onto somebody, it will start a full riot. That will start a whole, people will go, they'll become very annoyed. They become annoyed if somebody has touched their plate and eaten, and then they get up and go to touch a pot containing more food. They'll say, I will serve it, and then they get very upset if somebody's touches. So when 2 to 4 grains of the thrown rice touched his body, Adwaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice still stuck to his body. Avadutara Juta lagila moreange paramapavitra mora koila edange. When the thrown rice by Nityananda Prabhu touched his body, Adwaita Acharya thought himself purified by the touch of remnants thrown by Paramahamsa Nityananda. Therefore, he began dancing. Torini mantrana kore painutara fall, torajati kulanahi sahaje pagal. That refers here to Nityananda Prabhu as Avadut. He's often called Avadut. And Avadut means somebody who's is completely above all rules and regulations, who's normally very irregular in their activities and thinking. So here it says that person, that Avadut Nityananda, through the remnants of his prasadam at Adwaita Acharya, and Adwaita Acharya thought himself purified by the touch of remnants thrown by Nityananda. Therefore he began dancing. Torini mantrana kori painu tarafa tora chatikula nahi sahaje pagal. Adwaita Acharya jokingly said, my dear Nityananda, I invited you, and indeed I have received the results. So I have invited you, and now I'm getting the full results of having you here. You have no fixed caste or dynasty. By nature, you are a madman. And the word is pago. Pago. We heard that word many times. The words sahaje pago, by nature a madman, indicate that Nityananda Prabhu was transcendentally situated on the Paramahansa stage. Because he always remembered Radha Krishna and their service, this was transcendental madness. Sri Adwaita Acharya was pointing out this fact. And also, according to Mahaprabhu's own horoscope, if someone looks at it, they'll see that Mahaprabhu's horoscope also shows madness. And that madness we can understand when Srila Maharaj describes that Mahaprabhu he's Krishna, internally he's Krishna, covered with the mood and the beauty of Radharani, heart and halo. But at the same time, Mahaprabhu is feeling separation from himself. Because he has Radharani sentiments, and she's serving Krishna in separation. But Mahaprabhu is Krishna, internally he's Krishna. So he's actually feeling separation from himself. That's, you can say that's madness if someone feels separation from themselves. Apanara samamora karivara tore, juta dile biprabole boyana korile. To make me a madman like yourself, you have thrown the remnants of your food at me. You did not even fear the fact that I am a Brahmin. Nityananda bole e Krishnara prasad, ihake juta kohile tumi koile apara. Nityananda Prabhu replied, these are the remnants of food left by Lord Krishna. This is Krishna prasad. If you take them to be ordinary remnants, you have committed an offense. If you refer to them as juta, then that's an offense. It's Mahaprasadam. Shateke sannyasi jadi koraha bojan, tabe e aparada hoibe kandan. Srila Nityananda Prabhu continued, if you invite at least 100 sannyasis to your home and feed them sumptuously, your offense will be nullified. Acharya kohe e koriba sannyasi nimantran, sannyasi na shila mora sabha smriti dharma. Adwaita Acharya replied, I shall never again invite another sannyasi, for it is a sannyasi who has spoiled all my Brahminical smriti regulations. So when we were in Tarikeshwar, 40 sannyasis came from the Gaudiya Math to give welcome to Bhakti Tilak Nehariya Maharaj as the successor of Acharya Maharaj, and they came there for that purpose of establishing him. And 40 sannyasis, the whole temple was full with sannyasis, and another 800 persons, but that many sannyasis is a lot. And then here Nityananda says, if you invite at least 100 sannyasis to your home, feed them sumptuously, your offense will be nullified. And Adwaita Acharya replied, I shall never again invite another sannyasi, for it is a sannyasi who has spoiled all my Brahminical smriti regulations. Ektaboli duijane koraila achaman utama shayate loya koraila shayan. After this, Adwaita Acharya made the Lords wash their hands and mouths. He then took them to a nice bed and made them lie down to take rest. Lavanga ilachi bij utama rasabas, tulasi manjari saha dila mukabas. Sri Adwaita Acharya fed the two lords cloves and cardamom mixed with tulsi flowers or tulsi manjaris. Thus there was a good flavor within their mouths. And it says there's a good taste in their mouth. They call it rasabas. Rasa means taste, but it also can refer to the mellows or the rasa, that what relation that an advanced devotee has with the Lord. And what we will say when people write literature and they mix incompatible mellows or incompatible rasas, that's called rasabas, and it's not desirable. But here, this is a true meaning of rasabas in the sense that they've given Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu some spices after the meal to chew to give a nice mixture of taste in their mouth. So lavanga is cloves and elachi is cardamom. But it says cloves and cardamom beads, seeds, the seeds of cloves and cardamom seeds. So that produced a very nice taste. Sri Adwaita Acharya fed the two lords cloves and cardamom mixed with tulsi manjaris or tulsi flowers. Thus there was a good taste, good flavor within their mouths. Sugandhe chandane lipta koila kolebar, Sugandhe pushpa mala ane dila ridoy upar. Sri Adwaita Acharya then smeared the bodies of the lords with sandalwood pulp and then placed very fragrant flower garlands on their chest. So he put sandalwood pulp on their foreheads, and also gave them nice garlands. Acharya korite chahe para sambahan, sankuchita hoya prabhu bolana bachan. When the Lord lay down on the bed, Adwaita Acharya waited to massage his legs, but the Lord was very hesitant and spoke as follows to Adwaita Acharya. Bahuta nachaile tumi chara nachan, mukunda haridas loya koraha bojan. Mahaprabhu said, Adwaita Acharya, you have made me dance in various ways. Now give up this practice. Go with Mukunda and Haridas and accept your lunch. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here telling Adwaita Acharya that it is not befitting for a sannyasi to accept nice beds to lie on or to chew cloves and cardamom and have his body smeared with sandalwood pulp. Nor is it befitting for him to accept a fragrant garland and have his legs massaged by a pure Vaishnava. You have already made me dance according to your vow, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Now please stop it. You go and take your lunch with Mukunda and Haridas. Tabeta Acharya Sange Loya Duijane. Tabe Tabedeyata Acharya Sange Loya Duijane Korila Ichaya Bojan Jaya Chila Mane. Tabeta Acharya Sange Loya Duijane Korilai Chaya Bojan Jaya Chilamane. Thereupon Adwaita Acharya took prasadam with Mukunda and Haridas, and they wholeheartedly ate as much as they desired. Shantipurer Lokashuni Prabhura Agaman Yakite Aila Loka Prabhura Charan. When the people of Shantipur heard that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying there, they all immediately came to see his lotus feet. Okay, touch it first to the book. Here. Yeah, now. So people from Shantipur, people from Shantipur came there to Adwaita Acharya's house because Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas, and this may be the last time that some of them will see him, so they all came to Adwaita Acharya's house eagerly to see Mahaprabhu. Hari Hari Boli Lok Anandita Hoya Chamatkara Paila Prabhu Sundarya Dekiya. Being very pleased, all the people loudly began to shout the holy name of the Lord. Hari, Hari. Indeed, they became struck with wonder upon seeing the beauty of the Lord. Goradeha Kanti Surya Janiya Ujwal Aruna Bastra Kanti Tahe Kore Jalama. They saw Mahaprabhu's very fair complexioned body and its bright luster, which conquered the brilliance of the sun. Over and above this was the beauty of the saffron garments that glittered upon his body. Arshe Jai Loka Harshe Nahi Samadan Lokara Sangate Dina Hoila Abasan. People came and went with great pleasure. There was no calculating how many people assembled there before the day was over. Sanyate Acharya Arambila Sankirtan Acharya Nachana Prabhu Korana Darshan. As soon as it was evening, Adwaita Acharya began the congregational chanting. He even began to dance himself, and the Lord saw the performance. Nityananda Gosai Bule Acharya Darinya Haridas Pache Nache Harashita Hoya. When Adwaita Acharya began to dance, Nityananda Prabhu began dancing behind him. Haridas Thakur, being very pleased, also began dancing behind him. Ki kohi Rezaki Ajukananda or Chiradine Madhava Mandire More. Adwaita Acharya said, "My dear friends, what shall I say? Today I have received the highest transcendental pleasure. After many, many days, Lord Krishna is in my house." This is a song composed by Vidyapati. Sometimes the word Madhava is misunderstood to refer to Madhavendra Puri. Adwaita Acharya was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and consequently some people think that he was referring to Madhavendra Puri by using the word Madhav. But actually this is not the fact. This song was composed to commemorate the separation of Krishna from Radharani during Krishna's absence in Mathura. It is thought that this song was sung by Srimati Radharani when Krishna returned. It is technically called Mathura Viraha. Separation Viraha. Mathura Viraha. Eparag Gaujaya Harshe Korana Dartan Sveda Kampa Pulakashu Hunkarab Garjan. Adwaita Acharya led the Sankirtan party, and with great pleasure he sang this verse. There was a manifestation of ecstatic perspiration, shivering, raised hairs, tears in the eyes, and sometimes thundering and bellowing. So Mahaprabhu used to listen to the songs of Chandidas and Vidyapati, but in modern times we cannot find really proper presentation of those songs. We can't find that so much. But these were some of the songs listened to by Mahaprabhu. Here, in this case, Adwaita Acharya is singing this song of Vidyapati. Firi Firi Kabu Prabhur Dharana Charan Charane Doriya Prabhure Bolana Bachan. While dancing, Adwaita Acharya would sometimes turn around and around and catch the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Adwaita Acharya would then speak to him as follows. Aneke dina tumi more bedaile bandiya garate panachi ebe rakiba bandiya. Sri Adwaita Acharya would say, many days you have escaped me by bluffing. Now I have you in my home and I will keep you bound up. Itaboli Acharya Anande Korananartan Prahareka Ratri Acharya Koila Sankirtan. So speaking, Adwaita Acharya performed congregational chanting with great pleasure for 3 hours that night and danced all the time. Premera Utkanta Prabhura Nahi Krishna Sangha Virahe Badila Prema Jwalara Taranga. When Adwaita Acharya danced in that way, Lord Chaitanya felt ecstatic love for Krishna. Because of his separation, the waves and flames of love increased. Vyakula Hoya Prabhu Bhumete Padila Gosai Deki Acharya Nritya Sambarila. Being agitated by the ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly fell to the ground. Seeing this, Adwaita Acharya stopped dancing. Prabhurantara Mukunda Jane Balomate Baveras Sadrisha Para Lagila Gaite. When Mukunda saw the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he understood the feelings of the Lord and began to sing many stanzas augmenting the force of the Lord's ecstasy. No. Let me see. Premera Utkanta Prabhura Nahi Krishna Sange Virahe Barila Prema Jwalara Tarange. When Adwaita Acharya danced in that way, Lord Chaitanya felt ecstatic love for Krishna. Because of his separation, the waves and flames of love increase. Vyakula Hoya Prabhu Bhumate Parila Gosai Dekiya Acharya Nritya Sambarila. Being agitated by the ecstasy, Mahaprabhu suddenly fell to the ground. Seeing this, Adwaita Acharya stopped dancing. Prabhurantara Mukunda Jane Balomate Bhavera Sadrisha Para Lagi Lagaite. When Mukunda saw the ecstasy of Mahaprabhu, he understood the feelings of the Lord and began to sing many stanzas augmenting the force of the Lord's ecstasy. Acharya Utaila Prabhu ke korite nartan parashune Prabhuranga najaidaran. Adwaita Acharya raised the body of Mahaprabhu to help him dance. But the Lord, after hearing the stanzas sung by Mukunda, could not be held due to his bodily symptoms. Ashukampa Pulaka Sveda Gadgada Bachan Kane Ute Kane Pade Kane Ka Rodan. Tears fell from his eyes and his whole body trembled. His bodily hair stood on end. He perspired heavily and his words faltered. Sometimes he stood and sometimes he fell and sometimes he cried. Aha prana priya saki ki na hoila more kanu prema bishe more tanu manajare. Mukunda sang, my dear intimate friend, what has not happened to me due to the effects of the poison of love for Krishna? My body and mind have been severely afflicted. Ratre dine pade mana shoyastina pan jahan gele kanapan taha urijan. My feeling is like this. My mind burns day and night, and I can get no rest. If there were some place I could go to meet Krishna, I would immediately fly there. Epadagaya Makunda Madhura Suspare Shunya Prabhura Chitta Antare Bidare. This stanza was sung by Makunda in a very sweet voice, but as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this stanza, his mind went to pieces. Nirveda Vishara Harsha Chapaya Garvadonya Prabhura Sahita Juda Kore Bhava Sanya. The ecstatic symptoms of disappointment, moroseness, pleasure, restlessness, pride, and humility all begin to fight like soldiers within the Lord. Well, these are all terms for ecstatic. These are all ecstatic symptoms. Harsha is described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Harsha is experienced when one finally attains the desired goal of life and consequently becomes very glad. When harsha is present, the body shivers and one's bodily hairs stand on end. There are perspiration, tears, and an outburst of passion and madness. The mouth becomes swollen, and one experiences inertia and illusion. When a person attains his desired object and feels very fortunate, the luster of his body increases. Because of his own qualities and feelings of greatness, he does not care for anyone else, and this is called garva or pride. In this condition, one utters prayers and does not reply to others' inquiries. Looking at one's own body, concealing one's desires, and not heeding the words of others are symptoms visible in the ecstasy of garva. Jana jana hoila prabhu bhavera prahare bhumite padila shwasa nahika sharire. The entire body of Mahaprabhu began to totter due to the onslaught of various ecstatic symptoms. As a result, he immediately fell to the ground and his breathing almost stopped. Dekiya chintita hoila jata bhaktagan achambite ute prabhu koreya garjan. Upon seeing the condition of the Lord, all the devotees became very anxious. Then suddenly the Lord got up and began to make thundering sounds. Bo bo bole nache anande bibo bhujana nachai baba taranga prabho. Upon standing up, the Lord said, go on speaking, go on speaking. Then he began to dance, overwhelmed with pleasure. No one could understand the strong waves of this ecstasy. Nityananda Sangye Bole Prabhu Ke Darinya Acharya Harirasa Bole Pachena Nachinya. Lord Nityananda began to walk with Mahaprabhu to see that he would not fall, and Adwaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur followed them dancing. Emata Prahare Kanache Prabhu Range Kabu Harsha Kabu Vishad Bhavera Tarange. In this way the Lord danced for at least 3 hours. Sometimes the symptoms of ecstasy were visible, including pleasure, moroseness, and many other waves of ecstatic emotional love. Tindin upavase korea bojan, udandanrityate prabhur, hoile barishan. Tindin upavase korea bojan, udandanrityate prabhur, hoile parishram. The Lord had been fasting for 3 days, and after that period he took eatables sumptuously. Thus when he danced and jumped high, he became a little fatigued. Chabutana Jane Shrama Prema Vishta Hoya Nityananda Mahaprabhu Ke Rakila Darinyam. Being fully absorbed in love of God, he would not understand his fatigue, but Nityananda Prabhu, catching him, stopped his dancing. Tabutana Jane Shrama Prema Vishta Hoya Nityananda Mahaprabhu Ke Rakila Daniya. Acharya Gosai Tabe Rakila Kirtan Nana Seva Kore Prabhu Ke Koraila Shayan. Although the Lord was fatigued, Nityananda Prabhu kept him steady by holding him. At that time, Adwaita Acharya suspended the chanting and by rendering various services to the Lord, made him lie down to take rest. E Matadash Din Bojana Kirtan, E Gurupe Kore Kore Prabhura Sevan. For 10 continuous days, Adwaita Acharya held feasting and chanting in the evening. He served the Lord in this way without any change. Prabhate Acharya Ratna Dolaya Chanaya Bhaktagan Sangayaila Sachimata Loya. In the morning, Chandrasekhar seated Sachimata in a palanquin and brought her from her house with many devotees. Nadiyanagare Loka Sri Balaka Brida Sablokaila Hoila Sangata Samrida. In this way, all the people of the town of Nadia, including all women, boys, and old men, came there. Thus the crowd increased. Pratakritya Kore Kore Nama Sankirtan Sachimata Loya Ila Adwaita Pavan. In the morning, after regular duties were completed and the Lord was chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the people accompanied Sachimata to the house of Adwaita Acharya. Sachi Age Padila Prabhu Dandabad Hoya Kandite Lagila Sachi Kole Utaya. As soon as Mother Sachi appeared on the scene, Mahaprabhu fell before her like a stick. Mother Sachi began to cry, taking the Lord in her arms. Doharadarshane duhe hoila vivo keshana dekiya sachina hoila biko. Upon seeing each other, they both became overwhelmed. Seeing the Lord's head without hair, because he'd taken sannyas. Seeing the Lord's head without hair, Mother Sachi became greatly agitated. Angam muche mukha chumbe kore narikan dekite napai ashru barila nayan. Out of love, she began to caress the body of the Lord. Sometimes she kissed his face and tried to observe him carefully. But because her eyes were filled with tears, she could not see. Kandiya Kohen Sachi Bachare Nimai Visharup Samana Korea Niturai. Understanding that Lord Chaitanya had accepted the renounced order of life, Sachimata, crying, said to the Lord, My darling Nimai, do not be cruel like Vishwarup, your elder brother. Because Vishwarup had taken sannyas and they never saw him again. Sannyasi hoya puna nadila darshan Tumitai she koile mora hoibe maran. Mother Sachi continued, after accepting the renounced order, Vishwarup never again gave me darshan. If you do like him, that will certainly be the death of me. Kandiya bolen Prabhu, Shunamora ai, Tomara Sharira e, Morika Chunai. The Lord replied, my dear mother, please hear. This body belongs to you. I do not possess anything. So Mother Sachi. Sachi is called I. That's her. They refer to her as I. Tomara palila deho janma toma hoite koti janme tomara rina napari shodite. This body was raised by you and it comes from you. I cannot repay this debt even in millions of births. Janina, Janivana, Jani koila, Jajapi sannyas, tatapi tomare, kabu nahiba udas. Knowingly or unknowingly, I have accepted this renounced order. Still, I shall never be indifferent to you. Tumi jahan kaha ami tahai rohiba. Tumi jay agyakora seta koriba. My dear mother, whatever you ask me to stay, my dear mother, wherever you ask me to stay, I shall stay, and whatever you order, I shall execute. Etabole puna puna kore namaskar, tushtoya I kole kore baraba. Saying this, the Lord offered obeisances to his mother again and again, and Mother Sachi, being pleased, took him again and again in her arms. Tabi I loya acharya gela abyantar bhaktagana milite prabhu hoila satvar. Then Adwaita Acharya took Mother Sachi within the house. The Lord was immediately ready to meet all the devotees. So the devotees had come from Nabadwip, and now the Lord is meeting them again. And this was all arranged by Nityananda Prabhu. Eke eke milila Prabhu sabha bhaktagan sabara mukadeke koredrita alingan. The Lord met all the devotees one after the other, and looking at everyone's face individually, he embraced them tightly. Keshana dekiya bhakta jajapi paiduk Sondarya dekite tabu paya mahasuk. Although the devotees were unhappy at not seeing the Lord's hair, because his head was shaved, they nonetheless derived great happiness from seeing his beauty. Although the devotees were unhappy at not seeing the Lord's hair, they nonetheless derived great happiness from seeing his beauty. So I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. Hari Harain. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama. Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya. Janardan Shiva Sari Gora Bhaktivedanta Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raguna Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jaite Vignana Shabishta Puran Echai Gosai Jarmui Charana Kasava Para Renu Mora Panchaga Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Saniba Janame More Abhila Echai Gosai Jabe Brache Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Bindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koriya Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamuda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Goranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Nehriya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shadgo Swami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adwaita Acharya Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nabadwip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Kaladvip Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kana Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.